Good day, everyone. Today, I will be discussing about Bloom's revised taxonomy of educational objectives. But first, we have to know the Bloom's taxonomy background. Taxonomy, a hierarchical model that describes classification and sequencing procedures. In 1956, the Taxonomy of Educational Objectives, the Classification of Educational Goals Handbook 1 Cognitive Domain was published. Benjamin Bloom is the developer of the most prominent methods for categorizing differences in thinking skills. And in the 1990s, Lauren Anderson, the former student of Bloom, revisited the taxonomy, and as a result, a number of changes were made. In the original taxonomy, since it is a hierarchical model, the bottom part is the first level, which, which is knowledge, then comprehension, followed by application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Since Lauren Anderson made some changes to Bloom's taxonomy to what it is called now the Bloom's revised taxonomy, terms were changed. The first level, which is knowledge, became remembering, comprehension became understanding, application became applying, analysis became analyzing, synthesis was changed to creating, and evaluation was changed to evaluating. Here are the change in terms. The names of six major categories were changed from noun to verb forms, and as the taxonomy reflects different forms of thinking, and thinking is an active process, so verbs were more accurate. The subcategories of the major six categories were also replaced with verbs. Some subcategories were reorganized. The knowledge category was renamed. Knowledge is a product of thinking and was inappropriate to describe a category of thinking and was replaced with the word remembering instead. Comprehension became understanding, and synthesis was renamed creating in order to better reflect the nature of the thinking described by each category. Here are some ideas of each levels of the Bloom's revised taxonomy. In the first level, remembering, it consists of recalling information, recognizing, listing, describing, retrieving, naming, and finding. In the understanding, it is about explaining ideas or concepts, interpreting, summarizing, paraphrasing, classifying, and explaining. In the applying part, using information in other familiar situations, implementing, carrying out, using, and executing. In the level of analyzing, it is breaking information into parts to explore understandings and relationships, comparing, organizing, deconstructing, interrogating, and finding. In evaluating, it is justifying a decision or course of action, checking, hypothesizing, critiquing, experimenting, or judging. In the last level of creating, it is generating new ideas, products, or ways of viewing things. It is designing, constructing, planning, producing, or inventing. Remembering, the learner is able to recall, restate, and remember learned information. The sample question that can be attached to this is, can the students recall the information? And here are some sample action words. List, memorize, relate, show, locate, distinguish, give example, reproduce, and etc. And here are the potential activities on the remembering level. Make a story map showing the main events of the story. Make a timeline of your typical day. Make a concept map of the topic, and etc. In the understanding, the learner grasps the meaning of information by interpreting and translating what has been learned. The sample question is, can the students explain ideas or concepts? And here are some sample action words. Restate, identify, discuss, retell, research, annotate, translate, and many others. And here are the potential activities. Next, in the applying, the learner makes use of information in a context different from the one in which it was learned. The sample question that can be attached to this is, can the students use the information in a new way? And here are some sample action words. Translate, manipulate, exhibit, illustrate, calculate, and other more. And here are the potential activities. In analyzing, the learner breaks learned information into parts to best understand the information. The sample question that can be derived from this is, can the students distinguish between the different parts? And here are some sample action words. Distinguish, question, appraise, experiment, inspect, examine, probe, separate, and etc. And here are the potential activities. In evaluating, the learner makes decisions based on in-depth reflection, criticism, and assessment. The sample question is, can you justify a decision or course of action? And here are some sample action words. Judge, rate, validate, predict, assess, score, revise, and other more. And here are the potential activities. In the last level, the creating, the learner creates new ideas and information using what has been previously learned. The sample question that can be derived from this is, can the students create a new product or point of view? And here are some sample action words. Compose, assemble, organize, invent, compile, forecast, devise, propose, and etc. And here are the potential activities. Use the scamper strategy to invent a new type of sports shoe. Scamper strategy is a lateral thinking technique which challenges the status quo and helps you explore new possibilities. You can also search it up for additional infos. But what really is the purpose or the use of revised taxonomy? First, it provides educators with a common set of terms and levels about learning outcomes that help in planning across subject matter in grade levels. Second, it helps in drafting of learning standards across levels. Third, it serves as a guide in evaluating the school's curriculum objectives, activities, and assessments. Fourth, or the last, it guides the teacher in formulating learning outcomes that tap higher order thinking skills. That's all. Thank you.